Hello and welcome to my patch notes rundown for the 8th of November. This week's update introduces two unprecedented changes that lead the game to a better future. Jagex are willing to cut out unhealthy pieces of content, even though they're bound to the game historically. They're also willing to adjust the drop rates and values of certain encounters to make the items more reasonably obtainable. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Players may now stake a maximum of 50 million coins per player per fight at the Duel Arena. Let me start off with a personal story of mine. In February 2011, the Wilderness and Free Trade was revived along with one of the most damaging pieces of content, the Duel Arena. During that month, I gave into my temptations to stake and ended up losing 4 bill, which at that time was valued at thousands of dollars, but more importantly, thousands of hours I put into the game. This might be sheltered, but it was honestly the worst time of my life. RuneScape was a huge part of me, and to lose everything that I'd worked for and built up was a serious hit for me mentally. This is how I see staking. If you win, you will become desensitized to the rest of the game, especially making money and having fun. This is because staking is such an adrenaline rush and you can make absurd amounts of money that everything else feels minuscule in comparison. If you lose, you will devolve into having serious negative feelings like helplessness, anxiety, and depression. Either way, there will be a growing incentive to real-world trade. If you lose, you'd want to get back what you had by buying the amount of gold you lost. If you win, you might be tempted to sell your abundant gold as you come to the realization that you have nothing of interest to buy in-game, but could basically use it to buy things IRL. I am so happy that the Duel Arena is done for. It was definitely the worst part of RuneScape 3, that plagued the game with serious gambling and mental health issues, rooting a lot of unhealthy behaviors for the community. The Croesus front skilling nodes outside of the boss encounter exhaust at a slower rate, and enriched nodes will now remain active for 90 seconds. The junk chance on igneous stone is now 0%. The Pernix quiver can now be dyed. Magma Tempest Codex drop rate has been increased by 100% in both normal and hard mode. Scriptural Full drop rate has been increased by 100% in both normal and hard mode. Pieces of the Fractured Staff of Armadyl drop rate has been increased by 66%. Pieces of the ek-zekkil sword drop rate has been increased by 66%. I'm going to transition the screen to an image I created for these drop rate changes. I applied the increased drop rate of Karapak and Zuck with the estimated drop rates from various Reddit threads that accumulated good amounts of data, which I'll include in the description of this video. The kill times aren't the fastest and include banking times, but I think that they're a reasonable middle ground. It's also crucial to note that the method used for the ek-zekkil is 0 to 300% streaks. Now, the important number is the average time that it takes for players to obtain the full weapon, and for the ek-zekkil this includes both the main hand and the offhand from scratch. I think this is very well balanced, considering ek-zekkil is the easiest one of the 3 PVM bosses to grind and Karapak being the one that drops the most powerful weapon. I personally think this is a good change, as I believe if something is broken, it's never too late to change, and in my definition, the time taken to make a full weapon at Karapak and Zuck was too long prior to this update. And that's it for this week's patch notes. I would love to see Jagex take more actions in removing other aspects of the game that lead to unhappiness and toxicity, like death costs. I would also love them to fine-tune values of not only drop rates, but other features like abilities. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and take care.